Everybody's doing fantastic. Today, me, attorney Alena Shautsova, going to have this live with you in a different format. Why? Because Verizon has problems, and my regular format that I prefer and I like using my regular means is unavailable. But we do have Tuesday today, and we're scheduled to have live, and we're going to have it. So please join me. Let me know where you're watching from. Don't forget to, as always, ask your questions. And we're going to start. Well, first of all, I'm going to talk about a very important event. It was coming. I know that it was coming. We knew that it's going to happen. That Republicans officially won the House, right? So now they're going to have Republican president, Republican Senate, and the House. Everything is going to be Republican. It means that they do have a real chance of making certain important changes, not only within the executive powers, executive branch, but also changes in the way United States immigration laws are being, put together, put forward. They can make certain damage, but with that they also can make progress, right? So we're not going to hope only for the negative, we're also going to hope for some positive changes hopefully to come. And this is a very important thing to consider. If you are an immigrant in the United States, you're either going through the immigration process or you already have past removal order, you need to understand without being scared that you need to be ready for whatever is to come. And again, the changes do not have to be only negative. The positive changes may happen as well. So this being said, what I want you to focus your attention. Hi guys, hi Murray, hi Annie, don't forget to let me know where you're watching from. What I want you to focus your attention would be to, of course, probably number one is to plan for the future. Negative first, and then of course positive. It means that to get ready. I receive a lot of phone calls from people who do not know how to prepare, do not know what's to come. And also to understand that it's not going to be, and it's not promised by Trump, that absolutely everybody without status is going to be deported. It's not what they're going to do. It's not possible to do that, even if they really, really wanted to do that. What's going to happen is that they're probably going to go first after people who already is in their radar. People with criminal convictions and people with the past orders of removal, exclusion, or deportations. Why? Because those people are easy targets, right? Those people are people who they know that they are in the United States. Some of those people perhaps have orders of supervision, so they know their updated addresses, and they have very good reasons why they would want to deport them. This being said, you need to know that the following tools may be available to you if you have those orders of removal, exclusion, or deportations. Motion to reopen. And I do not know if you tried it in the past and it didn't work, or your pending decision on the motion. Can be various issues, but motion to reopen may be available. You need to know that there is something called motion to reopen sua sponte that may be filed even if you tried the motions in the past and they were rejected or denied. So that's something very important to know. People with exclusion orders. What is an exclusion? Exclusion proceedings were a variation of deportation proceedings in 1996. Right now, all removal proceedings, all deportation proceedings are called removal proceedings. But back then, there were two ways a person could have been deported for various reasons. Deportation proceedings for somebody who is officially recognized to be in the United States, and exclusion proceedings for arriving aliens. So some people receive those exclusion orders. If you are an arriving alien now, or if you have an exclusion order from the past, you may file for adjustment of status. Believe it or not, some people do not know that, of course, based on immediate relative petition, but it is available to you even if you have this exclusion order or order of removal and you were designated as arriving alien. It's a thing. It's a real thing. So check if maybe that's your option. Maybe not. I do not know, but it may be your option. Another thing that may happen if you don't have any other ways to fix your status, but there are very good reasons as to why you have to be in the United States, would be administrative stay of removal. Administrative stay of removal is official application that one may file before ICE so that they're physically not deported out of the United States. You do have to pay a fee with that. It's $155, and typically you have to file that application either in person or by mailing. But it's a thing, even for somebody with an order of removal, exclusion or deportation, that may be officially done. And if the government agrees with you, they will not physically deport you. So at least this, see if those tools will be available to you, if you want to use them, if you have those orders of removal. And you can get prepared for them, to use them if you have to. You can collect the records, you can collect letters of recommendations, you can collect records that you're a person of good moral character, and just put them aside in a little folder, okay? If something happens, you're going to grab that folder and you're going to instruct your family members to give it to an attorney, all right? That's how you can prepare. No need to be scared. You just have to collect those records. Countless times I meet people who have pretty good history in the United States in terms of work history, family ties, community ties, but they're absolutely not prepared and they do not have those records. And when the time comes, it becomes very, very difficult to collect the records and advocate on their behalf, all right? So this is something you need to understand and you need to know. So I hope that you're going to use this information, to your advantage. If you don't have order of removal, that's great. So chances of you being picked up, if you don't have a criminal conviction, are way lower. Still, interestingly, you need to know that chances of you being picked up and deported perhaps also going to depend on the state where you reside. If you've been following the news, perhaps you've seen our governor's recent announcement, when she said that New York is going to put forward certain protections against potentially harmful policies that new administration may bring against undocumented residents of New York. But that's not the position of every state. In Florida, for example, there are laws to the opposite. If in New York you can be jailed and convicted of a crime if you threaten an immigrant with their immigration status, in some states this is not the case, and instead threats like this are being rewarded. So you need to know that, you need to prepare for that, you need to understand that. And again, hopefully it's never going to come to this point, but this is something to consider, especially if you have family with young children in the United States. All right? This is very important. That's another point I wanted to make. Of course, many of you are frustrated because I do get emails from clients who are very frustrated about parole in place. And many of you would like to know what's going to happen to that. Unfortunately, just judging by the timeline, I think that parole in place is pretty much dead, just like many other immigration attorneys think. Why? Because while this administration may and should appeal the unfair ruling that was passed by the Texas judge, the next administration is coming in the end of January. and they will control federal agencies, House, Senate, and they already voiced their opinion. They will not be interested in supporting parole in place. So it means you will have to plan for the future without it. What alternatives are out there? Currently, there are two: I-601A waiver route or cancellation of removal for those of you who are in removal proceedings. And by the way, that's, I forgot to mention, if you do have a final order of removal, sometimes you also can use waiver route. You ask for 2 waivers, and this way you're going to fix your status. Not for everybody, but sometimes. But this is how you can prepare for what's to come. And of course, I'm going to talk about this many, many times again. But for those of you who are watching this, hopefully these little tips are helpful and maybe will point you into the right direction when you're looking for solutions, all right? You're looking for answers. Now, guys, I'm going to be answering your questions, so please don't be shy. Hi, Florida. Hi from Houston. And let's see what questions, guys, you have. Hi, Diego. What happens if DACA is revoked? Will DACA recipient be placed in removal? Yes. If DACA is revoked, a person who had only DACA status is going to be without status, and now they may be placed in removal. Will the government place everybody who had DACA revoked in removal proceedings? I sincerely doubt that, okay? I doubt that they will, but it's a possibility. Technically, they will be able to do that because the person will be without status, and anybody who doesn't have status in the United States may be placed in removal proceedings. Hi, Murai, do you recall they attempted to terminate TPS for Yemen citizens, or they will terminate the entire program for all citizens? I do not think Trump's administration will be able to terminate TPS. They may terminate parole programs, humanitarian parole, but not TPS. So I wouldn't worry about TPS, okay? Hi, Kushal. My master hearing is internet-based next month. My wife has green card. Can we file I-130 right now? And when she becomes US citizen, can we expedite processing? Do I have to go back? I came here legally. If you came here legally, it means that as soon as your wife becomes a citizen, you can file for adjustment of status, right? But you need to stretch your removal proceedings that long so you're not deported prior to that. I would suggest that for somebody like you, you should really consider prosecutorial discretion and ask them to agree to administratively close your proceedings, okay, or even dismiss them altogether. But you do have to file I-130 and have to provide a copy of your I-130 filing for the prosecutor and the judge, so they will see that your I-130 has good chances of being approved, okay? Hi, Higor. My I-130 got approved, but I-45 got administratively closed because I was in removal proceedings. Now the immigration judge dismissed my proceedings. How to reopen I-45? I would just say to refile it, okay? I've never done the reopening of administratively closed I-45. I don't even know what the procedure will be, to be honest. Hi, comma, good day. Every day is a little life, every morning, yes, a new beginning, you're right. Absolutely, there is always a chance for, good, not even a chance. We always have something to be grateful for, right? Always something to be grateful for. Hi, Shigal. My daughter-in-law makes $45,000 per year. Can she sponsor her husband or need a co-sponsor? I wouldn't know that because I would need to know if your daughter sponsored anybody prior to that, if she has any children, any dependents that she may be claiming on her taxes. But you may very easy check this out. So if it's only her and her husband, then $45,000 per year is enough. There is a table, I-864P table, that lawyers and immigration are using to determine whether or not somebody is making enough money, all right? So if it's only 2 people, 45 is enough. If more people are in her household, then it depends on how many more people, all right? If you guys have more questions, please let me know. And again, today I'm doing this interesting format that I've never done before because internet is not working so well. I don't know even if you can see me or hear me, to be honest. I can see and hear myself, but I have no idea what's going on because Verizon apparently is having some horrible issues and all my appointments today were lagging. And I was like so upset about that. I thought there was something wrong with my computer. And then I found out that it's a national, like it's a whole country is experiencing that in the northern, east. Hi, Benny. Can we expedite I-360 after a combo card was issued? Unfortunately, I mean, you can try, but I've never seen anybody succeeding. To expedite I-360, I mean, you can write to the hotline and ask them to pull your application out of the line. Also, if your I-360 is based on the marriage to a green card holder, that expedition request is not going to help you, all right? Because the priority date has to be current. But if you were married to a US citizen and you just want that I-360 to be processed faster, oh yeah, you can absolutely ask the VAWA office for that. But I don't know if you're going to be successful or not. Because typically speaking, they wouldn't do that. Unless your I-360 has been pending for a very long time, and now is the time to adjudicate it, then you can really be successful by placing a request for it to be adjudicated and by also adding new evidence. Sometimes it works, okay? Hi, Benjamin. My daughter applied for asylum in New York 2018, but still no interview. That's right. Unfortunately, we are in a situation where when people may wait for 7, 8, 9, and sometimes 10 years before they're called for that interview. Even though now she's been waiting for quite some time, it's like 6 years. So she may ask asylum office to expedite her case, but it works, I would say 50-50. I would say I wouldn't tell you that it's super successful. Why? Because there are so many people who are waiting for that interview, right? If everybody was able to expedite their case, there wouldn't be any backlog. Hi, Bonnie. Okay, so your I-360 is based on abuse by US citizen child. Then there is no priority date, or priority date is meaningless in your situation. And sure, you can try for the case to be expedited. Hi, Mariah. Let's see if they find it within themselves to bring the immigration reform proposal now. They control both chambers. I know, you're absolutely correct. Because, again, we're concentrating on negative, right? Deportations, like this no citizenship for children issues. But the Republicans also authored some interesting proposals that were not ideal for immigrants, but nevertheless, they would bring some relief to some immigrants, like the Dignity Act, for example, right? That would provide citizenship pass, even though it's like super long, but still, what it would give immediately once person engages in this process, it would be work permit and travel permit. And I feel like most immigrants, that's all they want, right? Being able to travel and see their family members. Hi, Ahmed. I've tried to make appointment many times, but for some reason I cannot reach you. It's very easy to reach me. You just go to my website, shautsova.com, and you book that appointment directly if for some reason you cannot reach me. But every day we receive, I would say, hundreds of phone calls and even maybe more with messages. And everybody has success with that. I do charge for the appointments though, so if you have some questions to ask, you can do it now quickly, because soon I'm going to hop on a different platform to have another live. But for appointments, I do charge money. All right. I want the green card. Combo card is not enough. My US citizen son is autistic. I'm not sure what you filed for. If it wasn't, did you say VAWA, Benny? I-360, just because your son is autistic, I don't believe you would qualify for VAWA based on that. But I do not know what's happening there. All right, I'm not gonna comment on anything. Combo card is just permission to work and travel while your green card is pending. And everybody wants the green card, but you do have to have very good reasons as to why you would like your case to be expedited. Okay? Without that good reasons, unfortunately, or the mother is abusive. Okay, now I understand. So the wife, right? The mother is abusive, right? So then, can you try? Absolutely. If you have very good reasons as to why your life will be different with that green card opposed to combo card only, then your request may be satisfied. But it's hard to show, because when you have ability to work and you have ability to travel, how can you effectively argue that only that green card is going to make a difference? Sometimes there are situations, but you need to answer that question prior to submitting request, all right? Because that's what the government wants to see, how your life is going to be different if you have green card opposed to what you have now, all right? So that's very important. The custody issue, did the judge in the family court say anything about the custody, that you cannot have custody because of your status? So, I do not know. Typically, family court judges in New York don't even make it a point, all right? If you're in a different state, then perhaps it's a point. Then if you can have paperwork about that, then sure, you can try to demonstrate that it's really affecting your life and the life of your son, all right? Well, guys, thank you very much for joining and participating in this live. It was a pleasure, of course. Again, you can comment under this video. I do not know how it's going to be saved. I've never done vertical lives before on this platform, but I assume it's going to be saved and published just like any other video. We're going to find out. Hopefully by Friday, when I'm planning on having my next live, the Verizon is going to fix their issues with everything, and then we're going to be able to have no issues. But for now, I do have to say that it was a pleasure. I hope we're going to see not only negative but positive changes as well. And of course, I'm going to keep you updated with regard to various immigration news. There were some other news about various appointments and various people who Trump is going to bring to the administration. Right now, it's just the news. We do not know if those people are actually going to take the office. But if they will, guess what? There is nothing we can do about that except for prepare and act to the best of our abilities, right? Whoever is going to take that office, controlling immigration or the Department of State, me and you, we have no power over. So all we can do is to make sure that our cases are ready, our life is in order, and we are prepared. So guys, thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.